কি বাদ দিস তাহলে কিরকম হিসাব করতেছিস তুই কি কাজ করেছিস দেখো দিন দেখ তুই এ করতেছিস এই বাজার লিস্ট করতি সব লেখা দিন না মাছটা
One hour goal bath.
But it was
Join myself and Wall Street legend.
Well, we saw what it could do in midweek. I think another player made a big statement with that fabulous goal, pardon me, against Liverpool. Up on the heels there of Danis Ceballos, but he needs to do more. The last couple of games I saw him, he'd not done enough in these Arsenal players, because they've had a good first few games to continue. But it's just I guess the stereotype, isn't it? Arsenal have got such a productive academy. You look at the likes of Willock and Saka and think, well, they're going to be very good. But this Vitoria midfield are a lot more experienced and grown men as well. I've got to remember that, you know. While they might be big, you know, Joe Willock's 6 foot, isn't he? But he's still not fully developed, you probably feel.
Yeah, this is his first real season as a regular or semi-regular in the Arsenal team for Willock. Saka only breaking into the first team fold. Over the last an extra ball for an Arsenal throw-in just inside their own half, which will be taken by Kieran Tierney. Back to Rob Holding, two players that have missed large periods through injury but are starting to feel their way back into the first team fold. Mustafi into Socrates, the central of the three defenders this evening for Arsenal. Now Holding once more can bring the ball out from defence, has Tierney to the left-hand side, uses the Scotland international. Vitoria happy to get back into their shape and allow the Arsenal centre-backs to have the ball. Not applying too much of a press. Arsenal look to go long with Mustafi, doesn't quite come off, but the ball breaks Pepe's way, and he's got Maitland-Niles overlapping down the right-hand side. Heavy touch though from Ainsley Maitland-Niles, and that allows Edmund Tapsoba to come across and clear the ball out into touch. But there's a decent tempo about this game in the opening exchanges. We know Arsenal will want to flex their muscles and take control of the contest, but one or two signs as well that Vitoria are in this match to play as Tierney gets down the left-hand side, skips away from one challenge. He's stopped in his tracks by Victor Garcia, but there's certainly a good tempo about the game.
Yeah, good turn that, and yeah, I mean, Arsenal started the better, then Vitoria came into it for 2 minutes, and now Arsenal are dictating the pressure, and I think the conditions will probably make it this way. You know, if someone slips on the surface, or we see a goalkeeper error with the slip ball, you know, it could change the momentum of the game quite quickly, and Vitoria will perhaps be a bit more used to it. You know, the pitch as they break again with Bruno Duarte moving off Davidson. Here he comes.
Yeah, good play from Davidson. He lays it off to his right hand side. Pepe strikes towards goal. What a strike from Pepe! Fully 30 yards out, and he rattles the post. He had Emiliano Martinez beaten all ends up. He's got pressure on him as well, the Vitoria midfield, but what a strike that was.
Oh, it was so good. It deserved to go in. It really did. Amazing strike. Absolutely top draw. Very little back if intended with leaning back. He just smacks it first time. And once he takes the touch, there's no doubt in his mind what he wants to do. Oh, it deserved to go in.
Still goalless between Vitoria and Arsenal, but it's been a very lively start to this game. They're going to see plenty of the ball and have had a couple of dangerous crosses into the box, one from Kieran Tierney down the left and one from Ainsley Maitland-Niles down the right. But by far and away the biggest moment of the game so far came the way of the home side. Good run from Davidson down the left-hand side. He's looked lively early doors. He squeezes it infield to Pepe, who only has one thing in his mind, the midfielder. One touch to get out of his feet, and a stunning strike from 25 yards out. Right-footed, Emiliano Martinez, the Arsenal goalkeeper, beaten all ends up. But unfortunately for Pepe and for Vitoria, the ball rattles against the post. It's still 0-0.
Yeah, here is Ceballos in possession for the Gunners. Inside to Willock. Back to Socrates, who skips it across to Ceballos, whose first time pass to Holding. Just tries to keep Arsenal ticking. Holding's going to go over the top looking for Saka. He brings it under control, tries to win a throw-in. And in the end concedes. Saka's response is to ask the referee how. It appears that the referee thought that he'd knocked it out first after speaking to his linesman. Again, you can really see how heavy the rain is. Would explain why there's a lot of empty seats. Doesn't explain why there's a lot of fans that have come down to get a closer look at the players. I'd be going further up the stand and keeping dry, to be honest. Although with the weather in Portugal traditionally, you wouldn't have thought there'd be much shade. As protections here is Davidson, tries to get down the left. He's going to be got under the feet of Maitland-Niles. Back now to Mustafi. Mustafi loops the ball up and away. Knocked out. That should be a free kick, I think, for Vitoria. I don't think Pepe has tried to play the ball. That's what the referee has given. 10 minutes in there or thereabouts, and it's pretty much what I expected. We'd had a goal by this point in the first leg, which is wasn't expected on the night, but this is the same tempo that I thought we'd have. Davidson was one of their key players, and yeah, it's you wouldn't know that if they lose tonight they can go out.
Yeah, it's an enjoyable watch, isn't it? Yeah, top of the group, maximum points against bottom, not picked up a point yet, but even contest so far. Pepe, the Vitoria Pepe that is, that swings a free kick into the box. It's dealt with well enough by the Arsenal defence. Willock then wants handball on the far side. It's not being given, so Vitoria can come again, and there's another strike towards goal, and that really tests Emiliano Martinez. It's Evangelista, the number 7 for Vitoria, with a brilliant left foot effort from the edge of the area, and Martinez had to get there.
Yeah, he goes with the flamboyant left-handed save while diving to his right as well, and it's a really good touch on it. Palms it around the post and makes sure there's no danger. As soon as he touches it, corner comes in, it's right underneath him, and as he managed to keep it out just about, well, that's a great corner. And if the game continues in this vein, we're going to enjoy ourselves for the next couple of hours, Tom, because what I tried to say to you earlier, explained the first leg, they've just got no respect for Arsenal in a nice way. You know, they're not overawed, they're not ashamed to try a few things or scared to try a few things. It's just, let's go and play our game. And again, as you mentioned, the bottom of the group, you do not know that by looking at this performance. You'd say, you know, they're fighting for the top spot, but it's not to be.
Yeah, they're certainly fighting for their Europa League lives in this game, and they're coming forward again with Davidson. Will want to come in on his right foot. I say that, he puts a great ball in with his left, and it wasn't a million miles away from Bruno Duarte, making his neck to try and get into the 6-yard area. What a brilliant piece of play from the impressive Davidson.
So good. He really has impressed the last 2 games I've seen him. He isn't the quickest, and I'm not saying he's slow, but you look at some of the other players, Maitland-Niles is not even at a full sprint and he's already catching up to him. But it's just, again, the fact that he gets the touch out of his feet, he thinks, right, where can I put this? And his first instinct is, let's get it down, let's try and get it across goal. And Bruno Duarte is pretty close to getting to it. Again, Tapsoba in the first leg, really impressed with his vision and his ball playing ability out the back. He just picked a picture of a pass to the right. And this man, Victoria Garcia, he got the assist for the Edwards goal. Yeah, but I've just been very impressed with how they've handled the occasion. Tierney's got some work to do tonight, so another good ball in. And yeah, it's just, I've just had a strange realisation. I just looked and thought, I wonder what the other scores Europa League games are. I'm like, oh, there's no one else playing, and there's no one else playing the Europa League either. It is such a weird game so far.
It is, and yeah, Arsenal win this game. They won't definitely be through. They have to wait until the result of tomorrow's match, where they'll be hoping Standard Liège can win, and that would confirm their place in the knockout stages. I think they're pretty certain to progress anyway, 9 points from their opening 3 games. They need to settle down though in this match after a spell of Vitoria pressure. Mustafi has it for the Gunners into Nicolas Pepe. That's a loose touch from him. Mustafi has to quickly get on the afterburners to retrieve possession. It's in now with Ceballos. 3 survivors from the weekend game against Wolves, Tierney and Socrates. The other players to still be in Unai Emery's starting lineup. No, Granit Xhaka, of course, stripped of the captaincy this week, hasn't featured since he stormed off when being substituted a couple of weeks ago. Mesut Ozil left out. Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, who's taken as well the captaincy from Xhaka, he's not travelled with the squad, but it's still a strong-looking Arsenal team as Ceballos shifts the ball out towards Mustafi on the right-hand side. You can just see Arsenal, particularly with Ceballos in there, just trying to reassert the authority they had over the opening 5-10 minutes.
Yeah, I think for Arsenal's nerves a little bit, pardon me, maybe until halfway point of this first half, they need to try and get their foot on the ball, Tom. Dennis Ceballos is a player that pulls the strings. He likes to get into those areas, and he's just trying to flick the ball over the top there. And I'm not so sure that he's as good as perhaps many have tried to tell me, or the media have tried to tell me. I'm a bit sceptical of his ability to change a game, but this is the sort of game he should thrive in. If they need the ball, he goes and looks for it all the time. And he and Willock need to try and dictate a bit more. Willock can go missing in these sort of tough spells. He likes to be box to box, and sometimes you've got to sit, as Socrates has had to do here. Tierney, heavy touch, and Arsenal putting themselves into trouble.
They are, and they're really scrapping to win the ball back, but Evangelista has it for Vitoria, rolls it back to Mikel Agu. The Nigerian strikes towards goal, not as good as the 2 previous long-range efforts we've seen from Vitoria.
Inspired though by his mates.
He was. I think they're all fancying their chances, aren't they? But he's dragged that one. The defensive midfielder well wide of the target. Just the point you were making there regarding Ceballos and Willock. The fact they're the 2 central midfielders this evening, for me, they're not going to offer much protection to the back 3 for Arsenal.
No, just a quick start though. 5 shots to 0 for Vitoria. Pretty glaring. No, I think. Ceballos is a fancy player, isn't he? He's a ball winner. He's a ball player, not a ball winner. That's why I always think Lucas Torreira is a key component, or a Guendouzi. I don't see Granit Xhaka as a ball winner. I see Granit Xhaka as strong in the air and strong with a duel on the floor, but he can't tackle very well, can he? He dives in, he's reckless, he gets hot-headed, which is why I'd play Torreira or Guendouzi. So Ceballos needs to play alongside someone like that. He's moaning again. He thinks that they're sat a bit too deep. Willock again is floating around, and in the middle of the park, it's where they were getting beat last time against Vitoria, and it's the same again.
Yeah, Vitoria have an extra man in there as the cross comes into the box. It was flicked on at the near post by Marcus Edwards, but into the hands of Emiliano Martinez, and that does seem to be an area where Arsenal are getting a bit overpowered in these opening exchanges. They still are seeing plenty of the ball, but the vast majority of it is in their own half. We haven't really seen anything of Gabriel Martinelli in this game, the Arsenal striker this evening. They need to improve that, as Maitland-Niles does try to feed Nicolas Pepe down the left-hand side, and he shows a clean pair of heels to get to the ball first. Early cross, though, into the box was poor, easily blocked away by Rafa Suarez. It will be an Arsenal throw-in. First time in at least 5 minutes they've been inside the Vitoria final third. The referee just pausing matters for a moment. I think he wants to have a word with one of the Arsenal players, maybe Gabriel Martinelli. The assistant's also speaking to Ainsley Maitland-Niles. 100% sure why we're getting this stoppage in play. It might be the fact that Maitland-Niles is wearing a chain around his neck, which I wouldn't have thought would have been allowed.
Yeah, but surely he knows that.
You'd have thought, yeah.
He's been playing professional football for a number of years. Surely he knows that.
This is a bizarre stoppage in play. I think he's being told now he has to take it off. He's trying to beckon someone from the bench over towards him. Whether that's a yellow card offence or not, I thought the referee was going to go to his pocket there.
I tell you what the confusion is. He wants to take the chain off, and Arsenal say, "Well, let's let him wait and do it." And the referee said, "No, this is your problem. Go get the chain taken off somewhere else, and the game can go on without you." And he's adamant that's going to happen. The touch man, the kit man, or someone's come across to help him. He's now taking it off. Maitland-Niles is now sent to ref. Yep, referee's seen. That's good referee. At the end of the day, he's in charge, and Maitland-Niles should know the rules.
Yeah, he should do it. It's probably just an oversight. He's forgotten to take it off, but it's a silly way for the game to be brought to a halt. And Arsenal were temporarily down to 10 men. He is now back on the field. Ainsley Maitland-Niles. Vitoria, though, have the ball. Throw in with their fullback Rafa Suarez down the line. Headed away by Mustafi. Mikel Agu, though, wins it for Vitoria. Looks over the top, and that was clumsy from Mustafi there on Davidson. And I think he is going to pick up the first yellow card of the game. He pleads his innocence to the referee. But again, Davidson causing the Arsenal defence all kinds of problems.
again, just a bit naive from Arsenal, isn't it? A bit silly. Mustafi, yellow card, and his career has just taken a bit of a nosedive, hasn't it? The last 12 to 18 months, at Valencia, he was the calmness. Otamendi was the brute, and just seems to have lost his way. And they tried to sell him in the summer, couldn't. Great ball in.
Yeah, Pepe's crossing the box. It's flicked on by Tapsoba up from the back. Martinez makes the save. Arsenal, I think.
Well,
wonder where the offside flag is.
Without him, it should be 3. He's not offside, by the way.
Not.
Without him, it's 3-0. He's kept them in this game. He just turned around to say to effect, what is Mustafi doing? Who's he marking? Same with Maitland-Niles again.
The thing is, yeah, Tapsoba's not the only player. There's another couple running in behind. Decent save, though, from Martinez. Evangelista sends the resulting corner into the box. It's off the head of Ceballos, and eventually it's diverted, I think, behind for a goal kick. But we've had 2 long-range efforts now from Vitoria that have come ever so close. A header, which was a really good opportunity just there for Tapsoba. They are dominating in that regard.
Yeah, I just looked at their corner routine. It looked a little bit inventive and a bit more original. I liked that. Everyone just stood at the near post in a big bunch and a huddle, and they all separated. And yeah, just give Arsenal's defence something to think about. They do seem to struggle with teams that are a bit off the cuff and get in their face. And this is the man again, Ceballos. Might not be the ball winner. He has to start dictating play, get it wide like he has, and get an attack going. Yeah,
Nicolas Pepe has the ball for Arsenal. He's got a couple of defenders around him, forced back into the defensive, into the halfway line with Joe Willock. Now in field towards Socrates and across to Rob Holding. Arsenal need to try and get going in this game. It was an initial, I say initial bright start. They had a couple of crosses into the box which threatened to cause problems, but since then haven't really laid a glove on Vitoria, haven't tested goalkeeper Douglas. They haven't had a shot on or off target in the match so far. We've reached the 20-minute mark. Joe Willock has it, works into Ceballos. That's a really loose touch under no pressure. Credit to Ceballos. He does then win the ball back and performs a nice little piece of skill to draw the foul from Mikel Agu, but he was only having to do that because he was atoning for his own error.
Yeah, he was. But again, at least he goes and does it, though, like you say. At least, it might sound like being patronising, but he's done what he needs to do. Got his sleeves rolled up, won a free kick, and here they come again. Yeah,
Pepe down the right-hand side, Tapsoba though with a toe in there to turn the ball out of play for a throw-in. They're looking reasonably solid defensively at the moment. Vitoria. Arsenal have this throw with Maitland-Niles. Now with the chain off from around his neck, and he's kept the ball in play down the far side under pressure. Goes in towards Bukayo Saka. Under pressure from a couple of challenges. Goes down, rather hopefully looking for a free kick. Arsenal have it. Lovely turn from Martinelli, and a good ball into the box as well. Only half cleared away. Pepe can't control under pressure, and that was much better from Arsenal, and the first we've seen in this game of Gabriel Martinelli.
I was about to say about a minute ago, he's barely touched the ball. He must be getting so frustrated. Then he does that. Great work. Pepe's just trying to take a touch before he hits it. It probably was an awkward height to try and volley it first time, so he can't do much with it. But yeah, Martinelli, he does look like he's got something special about him. A bit more regular game time perhaps needed.
Yeah, just 18 years of age as well. He really is a big find from Arsenal, brought in from Brazilian football during the summer. Nicolas Pepe will take the resulting corner towards the far post, headed away by Venancio, the Vitoria skipper, but only at the expense of another set piece, this time over on the far side. This is the first real bit of Arsenal sustained pressure we've had in the game so far. Dani Ceballos is trotting across to take this latest corner kick. Can Arsenal get their noses in front in this game? Ceballos takes the corner short towards Bukayo Saka. Links up with Nicolas Pepe. Pepe might be able to whip the ball into the box. Just checks back inside. Saka makes a run forward. Good link-up play from Arsenal. Saka gets to the byline. Good cross into the box as well, but it's headed over the top by Rob Holding.
Yeah, it's unlucky from Holding. He gets into a good area and gets up nice and early. Tries to head it down and just gets underneath it slightly, but good positioning. Good marking as well to try and put him off. So a bit better that from Arsenal.
Still Vitoria 0, Arsenal 0, but it's certainly got a lively feel to this game, and credit to the host, they've created some really good opportunities. I mentioned there, Pepe hit the post with a long-range effort early doors. Well, Evangelista also had a strike from the edge of the box that brought the best out of Arsenal goalkeeper Emiliano Martinez. Edmund Tapsoba has But a header from a free kick that also forced the goalkeeper into a save. Over recent minutes, there are signs that Arsenal are growing back into the contest. Bukayo Saka got to the byline and put a good ball into the box to find Rob Holding, who'd stayed up from an initial corner, but Holding's header, under pressure, went over the top of the crossbar. It's still 0-0.
Yeah, it's a throw-in to Vitoria. I'll take over from Tom, by the way, as Saka then tries to nip in, and that's brave defending from Venancio. Venancio gets to it first, the skipper. Maitland Niles trying to take the throw-in. Taking a bit too many yards forward, but the officials have let him do it anyway. One ball downfield. Two Arsenal players nearly getting each other's way. Headed back by Holding. Maitland Niles there to try and help Willock, who'd run into trouble. Willock accused by the management team of Vitoria of making a foul. Here now is Pepe nipping back. The Arsenal hierarchy, Unai Emery now on his technical, pardon me, trying to dictate the traffic of his midfield. What's impressive most about Martinelli as well, he seems to have it all: heading ability, pace, power, skill. You get some strikers that have got some of those attributes, but he's scored a real mix of goals so far.
Well, that's it. Experienced professionals with 10 years behind them don't have all those attributes. Never mind a teenager in his first half a season in European football. He certainly looks a player for the future, but not just the future. As you mentioned before, someone who's really knocking on the door to try and force his way into the team on a regular basis.
Yeah, Rob Holding judged to have given a free kick away. He's gone into the back of Edwards. Ceballos just having a word with the officials. It's a little clumsy. He didn't get a touch to the ball. Taylor takes it away in the end, and Edwards might have been going to look for that, but if you go through the back of somebody, you can understand why the referee's given it.
Yeah, it was clumsy and forceful from Rob Holding. Again, I'm not sure if it was a free kick myself, but the referee's given it. You do see them given, and we haven't seen that much of Marcus Edwards really so far in the game. Most of the talk has been Davidson down the left-hand side, but he certainly looks a technical player, and it's... I know we're starting to see more and more English players going abroad, but there's not many, I would imagine, playing in Portugal. So it's a credit to him for going out there and getting regular first-team football.
Yeah, it's going to do his development in the world of good. Of course, playing in Europa League. Yes, it might only be short-lived, 6 games, but something to build on as this free kick's taken towards the far post. Arsenal hook it only as far as Davidson, edge of the box. He's going to pick his spot, go for goal. Oh, just a whisker wide. Well, he took an absolute age to hit this, Davidson. I thought he'd messed up. He just flapped the arms around in frustration and disappointment. But when he's eventually picked his spot, he's gone for the far corner. And Tom, he's so unlucky.
Yeah, it's brilliant. As you say, it feels like it takes an absolute eternity. No one really closing him down quickly enough. But he uses all the time that he's given. And when a defender eventually comes out, he tries to use him as a shield to block the vision of Emiliano Martinez. Lovely curling effort, as you say, agonisingly wide of the target. And if it's on target, there's no way Martinez is saving it, and Vitoria will be 1 up.
Yeah, here's Pepe. Pepe skips back inside, then Cruyff turns his way back on the outside. He wants an overlapping run. He gets through Maitland Niles. Cross comes in, deflected behind for a corner to Arsenal. Maitland Niles claps the work from Pepe. I mean, I know Pepe has been frustrated, and people think that he was probably going to hit the ground running, but there's still a lot of signs I see that he's a top quality operator. I think he'll develop into a good player for Arsenal. They've had 3 corners to 2. We'll get Tom's thoughts on Pepe in a second when we wait for this corner. Several white Vitoria shirts ready and waiting. It's going to be floated to the far post. Keeper comes out and punches. Referee sees something in back place. Socrates shrugged the shoulders. Not sure who it is that's down, but regardless, it is going to be a free kick. And Davidson, I think, in fact, that's the one that's been thrown to the deck. I think it is. He's the one that's got the shirt being pulled by Socrates. But yeah, back to Pepe. I know you like the old school sort of style of player, but a bit of technically gifted. But what are your thoughts on him?
Yeah, I think he's a really good player, as you say. There's talent there. I'm not sure if the Arsenal style at the moment particularly suits him. He seems to have his best games when Arsenal are on the counter attack and perhaps not seeing as much of the ball as they do generally seem to do. But that's where he thrives, with that pace and trickery. He's got a bit of space to work into. If he can develop and mould his game and become more comfortable when he's got his back to goal like he has now with defenders around him, then he really will be an asset to Arsenal. And the signs are certainly there that he can get better and better.
Yeah, ball down the line, a little flick back. Davidson tries to move out of the way and does, but it's not going to be enough. I think he was hoping that it would take a deflection from an Arsenal man, and it hadn't. And Maitland Niles throws it into Saka. Saka back to Maitland-Niles. It's a very poor touch and forced by the tremendous pressure from Vitoria. Really working overtime. Rafa Suarez with the ball in hand for a throw-in. Wasn't looking, didn't see that Pepe had come short for a little throw-in down the line. Needs to keep his head up. Willock looks on. Suarez then chucks it down the line. A couple of players going to the floor in Arsenal shirts. As here is Tierney. Tierney going towards the far left touchline, trying to take Saka over there with him. He gives the ball to Saka, who's caught short though, and now needs to get back because Tierney is well out of position. Ceballos, Willock, Maitland-Niles now tracking back as here comes Pepe in midfield for Vitoria. Out to Davinson. Davinson's going to put his foot around this low and hard. It's cleared away only just. Chested back, flick back out on the right hand side. It's a chance to shoot then. Right footed, almost takes a deflection. The shot coming from Victoria Garcia. Bruno Duarte tried to stick his foot out, just couldn't get to it.
Again, they're not afraid to strike towards goal, are they? Garcia doesn't hit that cleanly. Perhaps Duarte should have got something on that. He's probably unsure though whether it would have helped or hindered the chance, and almost chooses in the end to let it go through. It's a comfortable save for Emiliano Martinez. But you know, Vitoria are impressive. And Portuguese Primeira Liga is not one we tend to watch too much. What we know from Portuguese football is Benfica, Sporting Lisbon and Porto on the whole. But Vitoria, you know, they're currently 5th in the standing. They do look a decent footballing side. Yeah,
they certainly do. This here is Pepe for Vitoria. Davinson again nips back. Pepe takes over, but in fact, well, he's still not gone out. Referee said Maitland-Niles throws Davinson to the floor. As Pepe went to try and go down the line, it actually hit Davinson. It's a definite free kick. He's clipped him and kicked him in the air, but it's you know, he's their main danger at the minute, and they can't seem to control him.
Yeah, and you wonder, perhaps you alluded to it before, the lack of pace might be the one hindrance for Davidson and why he's not playing for a top side. No disrespect to Vitoria, but he certainly looks a technically gifted player. He's got an eye for a shot, a pass, very creative player, and yeah, perhaps just lacking that half a yard of pace.
Yeah, certainly at the moment that looks to be the case as Pepe looks up for Vitoria. He's got options. He's going to swing it in again. It's another really good ball in, headed over the bar by captain Vanacino.